Hello, and welcome back to The Goodness Margin, the place where we find margin for the good things in life. I imagine that most of you are feeling the same pressures that I'm feeling based on our current economy and inflation and all of the things. I don't fully understand all of the reasons behind why the economy is where it is right now, but what I do know is that I am feeling the tightness in my budget. And so I felt like this would be a great time to share with you my favorite money saving tips. One day I'll share with you guys our debt-free journey. About 12 years ago, my husband and I became debt-free and have lived most of the next 12 years, the previous 12 years, we have lived that debt-free as well. In order to do that, I have definitely had to keep a close eye on our budget. We're all in different seasons of life and we go through different seasons financially where that maybe we have a little more excess in some seasons and some seasons feel a little bit tighter. But I do know that right now I am definitely having to double down and to really watch each of our pennies to be sure that we are staying on budget. In my last video, I talked about priorities. And with our finances, it's not really any different at all. We all have priorities. I have places that I want to spend my money. I have things that I want to do. So I would rather do the things that I want to do with my money and save my money where I can so I can still enjoy vacations and those kinds of things. So let's get started, and I'm going to share with you some of my favorite tips. Tip number one is something that you will probably hear from anyone who is talking about saving money. It's really simple. It's just creating a budget and sticking to it. If you've never created a budget, I will go into depth later about how to create a budget, but go back and look and see where you've spent your money, how you have spent your money. If you've been spending $800 a month eating out, cutting that to $100 is probably going to be really difficult. And so look at where you've been spending your money. Where has your money been going? Create a budget, and then not only just create that budget, but we have to follow it. We have to follow up. I do that typically every Monday. I go back and I look and see where we have spent our money and where I'm at with each of the categories that I have budgeted. So tip number one is to create a budget and stick to that budget. Now, the second tip I want to share with you is regarding toiletries. We all have to use toiletries, otherwise we would not smell very nice. And so with toiletries, there's a few ways that I like to save money. One of the ways is if you start to pump that bottle of face wash or lotion or whatever that is, and nothing comes out. Well, we may throw it away and think it's done. If we will just put a little bit of water in that bottle, shake it up, whether it's shampoo, conditioner, whatever it is, you can get a good extra week out of that because things kind of stick to the edge of it or they're around that tube, that pump there. It is amazing how long I can go when I just add a little bit of water, shake that bottle up, and that will help my toiletries to go a little bit further. Another way that I save money with toiletries is I typically use the same type of shampoo. I use the same type of hair gel, hairspray, deodorant. I may have a few brands that I prefer, but I usually have the things that are my favorites. And so rather than wait until I'm out of that item or almost out of that item and adding it to my shopping list, I try to keep a good back stock. And I buy things to go in my back stock when they are on sale. Wherever you buy your toiletries from, watch for when those items are on sale. I like to shop for those things at Target. And so many times I'll look at Target and realize, hey, today, if you spend $20, you get a $5 gift card back, which I can then turn around and buy some groceries with. So I'm essentially saving $5. So I'll go ahead and purchase $20 worth of toiletries. So just try to buy those things while they're on sale. Another great way to save on toiletries is just to use what you have. If you have 4 different types of shampoo, go ahead and use what you have before you buy another bottle or before you open another bottle of shampoo. We can save a lot of money by not wasting, by going ahead and using the stuff that we have. And I was putting on my list the other day to purchase kids' toothpaste for my daughter when I thought, hold on. And I pulled open my travel drawer and we had like 6 little tubes because even though our family travels quite a bit, you have to travel a lot in order to use up as many of those little tubes as they give your children every 6 months. So rather than buying more kids' toothpaste, I'm just going to be going through those travel tubes. Use what you have on hand to start with, and you will really save a lot of money. The great news is you probably won't have to spend a lot of money on toiletries for a few months if you just use these tips. The third category I want to talk about is where I feel that I can make the most difference in my family's budget, and that is regarding food. Food has definitely gone up, but also we enjoy eating. We like having treats. We enjoy having good dinners. And so how can I save money with food? Well, the biggest way that I can save money with food is by eating out less. And many times we eat out because it's convenient. And so, first of all, of course, we want to meal plan. By meal planning, we're definitely going to save money. But one way that I really save money when I'm meal planning is I shop my freezer, my refrigerator, and my pantry first. What items do I have on hand? What can I use from those? And then that greatly reduces what I need to purchase. And I'm also not wasting things. Things are not going bad because I'm shopping my pantry first. Another way to reduce waste and to save money is to think about things that we freeze. So for example, the other night we had some steak and we had one steak left over. So I put it in a little Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator thinking for sure that someone would eat it for lunch. Well, they didn't. And the next day I realized this is potentially going to go bad. This is a great piece of meat. And so I went ahead and tossed that in the freezer. Well, on Sunday, I just sliced it really thin, chopped it up, and we had quesadillas. We had steak quesadillas, and they were absolutely delicious. And it was a super inexpensive meal, all because I decided to go ahead and throw that piece of steak in the freezer. So really think about the things that you toss in the freezer. Go ahead and freeze those things that are potentially going to go bad. Even if it seems like it's not enough for a full meal, go ahead and freeze it. And maybe if you have more than one time that you have leftover chicken, 2 times of leftovers would definitely provide an entire meal for your family. So another tip is to definitely think about freezing those pieces. Snacks. This is a category that I call a pain point. So for me, a pain point is somewhere that I see that over and over again, we are spending money. We can go to Quick Trip, just me and the kids, and the next thing you know, you've spent $13. One way that I have reduced spending money on snacks is when I'm getting ready to leave the house with my kids. I have a teenager and I have a 6-year-old, and it never fails. We'll get 2 minutes down the road and they're like, I'm starving. I forgot to eat breakfast, or I didn't eat lunch yet. I am so hungry. Are we going to stop somewhere? So what I've gotten the habit of doing is if I know I'm going to be leaving the house and we're going to be gone for a little while, I'll say, okay, guys, we're leaving in 5 minutes. We're going to be gone about 2 hours. Do you want to get a water? Do you want to get some snacks? What do you want to get? And they will typically grab a granola bar, fix a sandwich, cut up an apple, whatever they want to do, and they'll take it with us. And that is a great way for us to really reduce the amount of times that I am swinging through fast food or stopping in a convenience store because they did not get enough to eat and they're feeling hungry. So snacks, and even for myself, I will stick a granola bar down in my purse. And that way, if I'm getting hungry, rather than going through Starbucks and getting a treat as well as a coffee, instead, I'm going to eat that granola bar that's in my purse. And of course, we all know the tip of drinking coffee at home or fixing that to-go cup and taking it with us rather than stopping and getting a $5 cup of coffee. Another tip in the food category is to leave your grocery list open. And I don't mean not create a grocery list. Definitely creating a grocery list is a great way to save money. In fact, I do utilize grocery pickup or grocery delivery. And I do feel like it saves money because this way I am not tempted by things I see in the store. I'm typically sticking straight to a list. But I do like to go to Aldi because I feel like I can save a lot of money on their produce. And so rather than saying I'm going to buy Brussels sprouts and I'm going to buy a salad, I will say I need 2 vegetables for this meal. And so while I'm there, I will look and see what is on sale, what looks good that is also on sale, and I will purchase those things. So if you leave your grocery list open, that's another way for you to save money while you're at the grocery store. Our family loves to go out for ice cream. It's just something that we find is a delicious treat. We all love ice cream. Well, for a family of 4, it typically runs anywhere from like $16 to $20, maybe even more according to how special the ice cream is. We've discovered at our local Kroger, which is a grocery store here in the Atlanta metro area, we love their brand, their premium brand of ice cream. And even if it's not on sale, it's still only $5 for a little tub of ice cream. So we'll buy a flavor or even 2 for $10. And if it's on sale, then it's on sale for like $4. So for $8, we can get 2 different flavors because I love mixing the flavors of ice cream. And so we can still enjoy something, enjoy a treat. You don't have to just give up everything to save money. We get to stay in our pajamas. We're home. We're still enjoying our favorite treat, which is ice cream, but we found a way to do it with saving money. Tip number 4 is a way that we have been doing for years to save money on vacation. Our son is almost 16. And so for many, many years, we've discovered when we're going on a vacation, or especially if we're going somewhere, like if you go on a vacation, we're going to be gone for many days, or be at an amusement park for 3 or 4 days, you can really spend a lot of money. And for me, it's a lot of mental pressure to think, how often am I going to say no to my kids? When do I say yes to my kids when I'm already spending so much money on this vacation? So rather than put the pressure on myself, we give them cash. This is the money for you to spend. If they're young, you can keep up with the cash for them, but keep it in a place where they can see it. Or even if it's a Ziploc bag, this is your money. How do you want to spend it? I have one kid that will typically find the first thing that she can find and she will purchase that. My son, he usually knows exactly what he wants, and it's pretty much going to cost all of the money that he has, and he's going to save it up, and then he's going to spend it all in one place. It doesn't matter. They get to choose. I've taken that decision away from myself. We do buy treats throughout the vacation, but if there's an extra treat that they want that we weren't planning on purchasing, they can have it. It's no problem. They just need to spend their own money on it. So not only does it help them to learn to budget and to decide what they want to spend their money on, it's a great way for me to still enjoy the vacation and not have the pressure of having to tell them no all the time. They get to choose what they want to spend their money on. It's a great way for us to stay right within the budget of what we plan to spend. Tip number 5 is to never pay a late fee. There are so many ways that you can stop from paying a late fee. Now, obviously, if you don't have the money to pay a bill and you have to pay a late fee, that's a totally different story. But paying a late fee because we forgot to pay the bill is something we should never have to do. There are a couple ways that you can reduce this. You can set up automatic payment. I love setting up automatic payment for things. It's my favorite thing to do. But if I can't set up automatic payment, or if it's something that changes so much that I need to know when I'm going to spend that, I will set a reminder on my calendar. And so I know that several days before this bill is due, I will be prepared to pay that bill. Another thing that you can do is plan to pay your bills a certain time each month. Maybe whenever you get paid, you know that you're sitting down and there are certain bills that are due within that pay period. Utilize a bill pay notebook or a spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet on my computer where I keep that up. Whatever you need to do, set up a reminder, set up automatic payment. We can definitely save money by never having to pay late fees. And one of the last tips I want to share with you is regarding kids and their clothing. Kids' clothing can be really expensive. And my daughter is really tall, and so there's a couple of brands that I found that I really like. Well, these brands are a little bit expensive, and I really never want to pay full price for them. In fact, I never have paid full price for them. So what I have found is resell. My current favorite app that I use for that is Poshmark. And what I will do is I will purchase a dress for her, and I will take good care of it. We wear it over and over again. But if it's a great brand, it's going to wear really well. I don't put it in the dryer. I hang it to dry. And then when she outgrows it, I post it again, and I can typically sell it for what I paid for it. Maybe even I can sell it for more than what I paid for it. And then that money stays in the app. You can pull it out and put it in your account. What I found is I leave it in the app, and then that way I'll watch items and I will bid on certain items that I want for her. And I'm basically just kind of recycling that money rather than having to feel like I am spending the money on her clothing. So try an app, shop resell. It's amazing. Our kids grow out of clothing so fast. I learned that when she was really young. I would buy her something and realize, especially when they're like in those first couple of years, she may only wear it one time, and the next time I go to put it on her, she's completely outgrown it. That is really expensive in a cost per wear scenario. So I buy her less clothes than I ever have before, but I want them to be really good brands and things that she enjoys wearing that are comfortable, but also that are beautiful. So I found that shopping resell on a site like Poshmark, and actually, if you want to try Poshmark, I have a link listed in the blog post that'll be linked below. But I not only buy from there, but I also sell on that website. It's Super, super easy to do. If you've never tried that, I highly recommend you try that out. The great news is we do get to decide where we spend our money. Yes, there are places where that we have to pay certain bills. That's just the reality of it. But if you choose to drive a really nice car and that's what you want to spend your money on, that's fantastic. But maybe you don't want such a nice car and you'd rather spend your money somewhere else. We get to choose where we spend our money. And so rather than overspending in categories that I don't feel the need to spend that much in, I want to save my money where I can so that I can spend it where I want to. I hope that these tips have helped you during this time where the inflation is just out of control. I hope that you can find ways to save money and not feel like you're having to make such a sacrifice. If you've enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. You can hit the bell where you'll be notified when the next video goes live.